Hello there guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Chelsea to Nottingham 2. There are some positives to take from this result, but there are a lot of concerning points for next season now. We have to talk about a lot in this video, so stay tuned. In other news, Pochettino is now confirmed 99% to be Chelsea manager. I don't think Chelsea have announced it, but it's in the news everywhere. Pochettino is going to be Chelsea manager next season, it's agreed. And Lukaku scored a brace out in Serie A. You might be wondering why I'm talking about Lukaku, because as many Chelsea fans tend to forget, he's still out on loan. He's going to come in next season. And I think Chelsea are not in a situation where we can choose. We can't pick and choose anymore. Lukaku is definitely the best striker we have on our records, and we have to use him. We can't be picky about who it is, the past, the history. We have to use Lukaku next season. So guys, before we do get into talking about the match, do leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers by this month. Now let's start talking about the match yesterday. Unfortunately, I missed both of the Chelsea goals and I watched the Nottingham ones. But then of course I saw the goals in the highlights. I thought the start was terrible. The defense was a bit shaky. The lineup, I won't disapprove because I think this is a time for experimentation, as nothing more worse could happen. So it's good as much as experimentation does happen, it's good. So Lewis Hall, Thiago Silva, Chalobah on the right side of defense. Chalobah did a solid performance, of course got the assist. I think he's doing pretty good. But Lampard brought in Edouard Mendy after a long time. That I thought was a good decision. Let's see where Mendy is at. And where Mendy is not good. It's not good. I mean, of course, he hasn't played in so long. He won't be that good. The first one, he really should be catching it. Avoni scores. Our defense was absolutely shambles for both the goals. Even the second one, again, it's a simple chip delivery. Avoni is completely free, heads it in. Our defense is clueless, no matter. But today was a day I think the midfield and attack were on top more than our defense, which is usually not the case. Sterling, we've been absolutely targeting him for the last 2 months, and rightly so. He's been looking really just done, but he spoke out recently in an interview that he wants to be part of this club in the long term, and he backed it up with 2 goals yesterday. So I think that Sterling guaranteed a place in this team long term. Sterling is definitely one of the most experienced players, one of the most skilled players we have in this team. Mixture of kind of not that old and skilled as well. He's in his prime right now, which is really good for us. And then, the problem is, if we do defensively good, which we have been doing, we can't score. But then when we finally do manage to score, we can't defend, which is why it's another 2-all draw. Well, at least relegation is now out of the window. Relegation is confirmed to not be a possibility. No more relegation for Chelsea FC. I can't believe I'm saying this in match day 35. On match day 35, I'm talking about relegation. For Chelsea FC, it's unheard of. And then in other news, let's not talk much about the match. I mean, it's simple. We're 11th, level with Crystal Palace in 12th. We're not going to get 10th. We're not going to get top half. We're like 9 points behind. It's mathematically impossible now for us, I think, to get into the top half. Let's just talk about the future. And I've seen a lot of opinions online that are really worried about yesterday's performance and how it moves forward, when I think that yesterday's performance was one of the better performances this season. Not this season, but especially this year, 2023. It wasn't good, but it was one of the better ones. I mean, the fact that we managed to score 2 goals puts it in the top 5 in itself. So that was, I think, a really positive point, but lots of people are getting concerned, including me, I have to admit, that this might not be like 15-16, where we're gonna bounce back next season. Next season, there is no guarantee that this was just a shock season and this isn't just a constant period of downward slope. And moving on to next season, we have to talk about Pochettino. Pochettino is coming, it's done, no more maybes. What will Pochettino bring to this team? Now, Pochettino, he had success with Spurs. He didn't win them a trophy, that's because they're Spurs. Mourinho didn't win them a trophy, Conte didn't win them a trophy. But Pochettino really built Spurs to what they are today. Without Pochettino, Spurs would be a mid-table team still. Pochettino really from 2014 to 2019 got them from unknown to the top of English football. And yes, they did challenge for the Premier League title. 2 years in a row, they reached a Champions League final. That was never done by Spurs, ever. So he has talent. And I know Pochettino did nothing at PSG. PSG are a mess. PSG are a chaotic mess who no one wants to get themselves into. I'm not going to look at Pochettino's time at PSG as a measure, as a metric. The thing that impressed the board about Pochettino is that he likes to develop young players. We've seen that Harry Kane, Dele Alli, Kyle Walker, all these young players were developed by him at Tottenham. He was the one who gave them chances. And I mean, that's all we have, isn't it? That's what the whole project is about. 10 years with all these young players on 7, 8, 9-year contracts, building them up. I thought Madueke was kind of shaky yesterday, but Loftus-Cheek was good. Lewis Hall was brilliant. That cross into Felix, that was perfect. Chalobah, Badias, Shield. I think you can count Kepa as a youngster, technically. Loftus-Cheek, I have no idea how long he'll still be a youngster for, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's the thing. Mudryk didn't get to play yesterday again. I think Mudryk, we're just going to have to see next season, the start of next season, how good he does. And that brings us on to the summer, the transfers. I personally, I'm going to be happy. I mean, considering we've got Pochettino coming in, I won't have a problem with us doing a Spursy thing and not buying a single player. I generally don't have a problem with us not buying a single player. We've bought like 16 players this season. 1-6, we have Lukaku coming in on loan, from loan. That's our striker thing sorted. Just use these players. We don't want anyone. Todd Bowley, if you're listening, don't buy anyone. We don't need anyone. Just get a proper manager, proper board. I mean, we've gotten a proper manager already in Pochettino. Just use these players and sell a bit of the deadwood. Not all, a bit of the deadwood. I genuinely don't want any more signings. I'm honestly sick of it. Honestly, I'm sick of the news. Oh, Chelsea went out and got this guy. Chelsea went out and got this guy. We don't need any more guys. We don't need any more signings. We just need to first perfect the signings we have made. That's the thing we have to focus on for next season. I'm not talking about this season anymore because there isn't a season left. We've got 3 games left and we're going to lose all 3 of those games, let's be honest. Man United is the only game where I have some hope. Maybe you pull out a 0-0, 1-1 because they've been a bit shaky for the last week or so. But Newcastle and City, we're going to get absolutely destroyed. And yeah, this season is done. How many we're on? 43 points, I think. That is going to be the final points tally. 43 points. Let's give us a pat on the back, guys. Chelsea FC with 43 points in 2022-23 season. The first season of the Todd Bowley era. Complete masterclass. As I said, don't think me wrong. I do not blame Todd Bowley for any of this. I generally think he's trying to do good. He's a good owner. But he needs to learn what the business is in football, in Premier League football. He needs to learn how things are, which he's not accepting, which is what I think the root cause of the problem. I mean, if you want to understand my analysis, I've made like so many videos talking about what the problem is at Chelsea FC. My last video was a timeline video, so go check it out. This last video on my channel, the timeline video, what has gone wrong at the club ever since Todd Bowley bought us. And yeah, I suppose that's it, guys. This is it for the video. Do leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers this month. And yeah, I'm gonna see you for the next video, guys. Goodbye.